the group today. I'm pretty sure, as most of you know by now, we have pushed the reset button on our franchise. As of right now, pretty much everyone's coming out. Um, Matt Ryan traded from the Atlanta Falcons to the Indianapolis Colts for sounds like a third round pick. And there it is. I think everybody was kind of hoping we would make that move. The Deshaun Watson thing turned out to be did not work, and as expected, maybe folks in the Matt Ryan camp weren't exactly thrilled about that. And it sounds like Matt Ryan is on the move for a third round pick. So again, kind of somewhat what we were talking about earlier. We were saying that after this whole debacle with Deshaun Watson, with somebody of Matt Ryan's tenure, you know maybe he had some hurt feelings about the situation. I don't know why. It would seem like he should have seen the writing on the wall that things weren't going to make it for him. But yeah, so now officially the Atlanta Falcons, for the first time in 2 decades, are going to another direction. Matt Ryan is going to the Colts, and we'll talk about it a little bit later on too. I'll probably try to shoot on about 6 o'clock, but I just wanted to get some initial feelings from you guys just to see what it is. This is huge news. This is probably the biggest move not financially, but transaction wise in the Atlanta Falcons. Is a real it's a real big deal. I was listening to the NFL Network just a few minutes ago, and they were saying that Matt Ryan for a third round pick, folks, we weren't going to get that much. Remember, we're trying to get rid of salary. We're trying to get rid of that albatross of a contract too. That was probably good that we just got the third round pick as well. So it doesn't shock me that that's what we got in return. Now, the next step is getting somebody to come in here. Now, I think it's obvious that you would be looking possibly at a backup quarterback, but not backup quarterback, but to draft a quarterback. That seems like on surface the first thing you would do. But NFL Network is reporting that the Atlanta Falcons could be looking at Marcus Mariota to come and probably be a stopgap in between that time. I can't imagine they would be setting him up for the future. Maybe do like they did in New Orleans with Jameis Winston, give him 1 year, see what he can do, and see if he can come down the pipes and do something. I'm going to see if I can post everybody here. I'm going to just read out these comments real quick. I might not get the names, but here we go. I say, yes, sir, Unc, his change is here. I see your brother. It says, he's gone, Unc. I'm so sad not. Rusty, I see Rusty right there. What's going on, Rusty? Said, let's rebuild. Philip, what's going on, Philip? Philip said, let's rebuild and move on. What does this say? This is J Dot. What's going on? Says should have at least a second round. Here's the problem, J Dot. We were in the position where we needed to get rid of Matt Ryan more than the Colts needed to get him. The Colts had options. Colts could have gone the way of Baker Mayfield. They could have gone the way of Jimmy Garoppolo. They could have done a couple of things. The Falcons were in the position that, remember when I was talking about the Deshaun Watson thing earlier, and I was saying that after that didn't fall through, if you had an unhappy Matt Ryan, then you knew the Falcons were going to have to be in the position of trying to give him away more than let's sit and negotiate. Almost the same thing that happened to Julio last year when he foolishly called Shannon Sharp. Before that, it just could have been, hey, we just trying to get rid of Julio. When Julio made it clear that he wasn't going to play for the Falcons this year, then other teams would come up like, oh, okay, well, shoot. If that's the case, then we helping y'all out. So, yeah, not the greatest return, but at the same time, that should have been expected. that was going to be expected. Most said fleeced. Absolutely fleeced. We were fleeced on this, and there was no way that we were going to be able to catch up with that. I have my phone on today. I see somebody's calling on here. Caller, how you doing? This is Steve on a breaking news day. Matt Ryan Lees. Identify yourself for me.
This is your boy, Donovan Boyd.
What's going on, brother? How you doing, bro?
I'm good, man.
Man, I am doing well, man. Talk to me. You the first one up, man. Tell me how you feel. What's going on?
Officially now the Atlanta Jets.
Did you say the Atlanta Jets?
Yeah, man, it's gonna be so hard to find a quarterback, man. Miami still looking for their next Dan Marino, man.
It might be true, but
It's so hard to find a quarterback. We need to find a quarterback, a running back, a wide receiver.
I don't doubt you on that, but let's also not pretend like we're in a position where everything else is going right but the quarterback. Don't you think when we're resetting the button, we should reset everything and not just you know what I mean?
No, we can't do that, man. We gotta learn how to take care of our people so we can build their culture, man, and retire this man's jersey. Like how these other teams do.
Listen, we're gonna retire Matt's jersey. Matt's gonna come back and do that one-day contract. I guarantee you that. But for the moment, right now, we have been stuck in the same spot for a long time. It's not disrespect to Matt Ryan. If anything, you're almost saying, hey, Matt, you're still good enough to go win with another team. Here, go ahead and see what you can do with Indy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's good. That's good for him as a fan, though, man. Like, damn.
Listen,
Super.
it's gonna be ugly for a minute, but I honestly think at the end of the day, I think we're gonna come off real good. My brother, I appreciate you calling. I got some folks lined up over here, and I appreciate you, man. Keep watching for me, okay? All right, brother. Appreciate you, man. Like I said, y'all see the number down there, 1-877-747-2346. We're gonna continue. We're gonna talk a little bit, probably right up to about 2:30 or 3 o'clock. But we're still gonna do something tonight, I'm sure. Just trying to get some initial response from you guys. Caller, how you doing? This is Steve on this breaking news day. Matt Ryan retiring. Talk to me. Identify yourself for me.
Hey, what's up, Steve? This Coach. This is Dre.
Cole, what's going on, brother? How you doing, man?
Doing work, man. Just call in.
Brother, I ain't heard from you in a while, man. Is life going good for you?
Yes, sir, man. You know, during the off season, I get ghost, man.
Well, we can't have you ghost today, brother. Tell me how you feel. What's going on? Talk to me.
You know, it was time. I hate to see him go with nothing in return. Just a third round pick to me is kind of like, you know, wow. But I mean, I guess that shows you what the rest of the league thinks of him. But more importantly, like I don't want to see my team lose, but I definitely can't wait to see what the narrative is this year. You know, no matter who we get when Matt Ryan ain't back there to blame.
This is true. If anything, we can't go to that card anymore. And this also, Dre, this also erases pretty much the end. I think Grady Jarrett and Jake Matthews might be the only ones left. I think this pretty much from the big money folks erases the Thomas Dimitroff era. I think the majority of the folks here.
I don't think no one is left from the Super Bowl team. I was telling my boss that today. I don't think no one is left from the Super Bowl team. But this really pisses me off that they did it today, bro, and let Big O walk, man.
Yeah, I know. It's a tough one because listen, I think in the greatest of schemes, I think Terry them were trying to do the big surprise for the Atlanta fan base and say, hey, look who we're bringing in, the shiny new toy. And when that backfired, unfortunately, plan B was not going to be, you know, as good. Just go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. I was just going to say, man, you know, again, it was time, yes. It definitely was time. I was hoping that he held out for one more year because I don't like although people will tell me I'm crazy, I think the ones coming out next year are much better prospects than the quarterbacks coming out of this year, except for the old boy from Nevada, I think it is.
Liberty.
Las Vegas team. And Liberty.
Yeah. Got it. Yeah, and you might be right. I that's actually the question I was going to ask you next. So I'm glad you did say that. The NFL Network is reporting. Obviously, this is zooming now on all the networks just to show y'all how much Matt Ryan kind of was a big deal, even though we were kind of tired of him here. He was a big deal in the NFL, probably just more because of longevity. But which direction do we go next? They're talking Marcus Mariota as a possible stopgap. What's your feelings on that before I let you roll?
Marcus?
Yes, for 1 year, not for long term. Yeah. Not long term.
I mean, so Matt Ryan leaving firmly puts us in rebuild mode.
Absolutely.
So 1 year, I can live with 1 year. What I don't want to see is we get someone like him for 1 year or 3-year minimum, some crap like that, and then draft high. Like I said, I would like to get the holes in our team and get out the draft next year quarterback.
And
because I don't think the quarterback of the future is in this draft. Maybe you can say the guy from Liberty. Maybe you can say that cat from the Las Vegas. I cannot think of his name, but he's from Las Vegas. Maybe you can say one of them too, but I don't think so. I think where the money is next year.
Yeah, the money clears up a lot next year, and you might be able to do some things. But for now, I think to your point, I think a free agent quarterback, whether it be Marcus Mariota, Lord forbid, Jameis Winston, or somebody like that to come in for a year just to do the stopgap. Dre, let me get you rolling, man. I got folks over here trying to sneak in. I'm gonna holler at you later on. I'm gonna be on at 6 o'clock later on tonight, so y'all check me out then too. All right, brother. Take care, man. All right. So again, and I'm rolling through these comments real quick, y'all, because I see everybody. Kevin Grays, Eldrick, Christopher, what's up, Chris? Jermaine, I see you. Scooter, I see you. Bernard, I see you. I see everybody coming in. But like I said, again, we're going to try to roll through as many calls as we can, too. We got another caller coming up right now. Caller, how you doing on this breaking news day? Matt Ryan's era is done. Identify yourself for me.
I'm 3 for 3,
Ricky told me 3 things. Yes, you are. Talk to me, Rick. What's your initial? I'm trying to get initial reaction. I know we can do the cumulative reactions later, but just initially, what do you think, brother? I mean, just initially, your initial feelings. Is it celebratory? Is it a little bit of sadness? Is it what? What are you feeling?
It's bittersweet, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, because you really can't. You can't say a lot of times on what I said in that line for. Yeah. I mean, the man was here since what, 08? That's what.
Yeah, 08. 08.
So how can you not? You know, I wasn't like a whole lot of folks that just couldn't stand him. I understood his plight. You know what I'm saying? I didn't agree, but like I said, everybody keeps the fan base keeps blaming Matt. And I know you got some folks in there right now who go out and get drunk all night long. Just gonna go out and party. You know I'm telling the truth. This whole right now is turning up drinks and celebrating. It's almost like we just won the Super Bowl just because we got rid of Matt Ryan. Even the stars. I mean, I'm pretty sure T.I. ready to celebrate, but it's like I still hold back to what I said. It was a culmination of things. It was Alpha Blank, Falcon for Life, Thomas Dimitrov with dumb decisions, and the 5-year horror story called Dan Quinn that we had that kind of like put us in this position. But Matt's going to where he needs to go. He got play action going on. He got arguably one of the best running backs in the league
Y'all, you know how much money they invested in their own line, so they'll keep them upright.
Mm-hmm.
We got some decent receivers to throw to, but at the same time, we're getting a new era. You know, I heard the previous call. There's 3 people that still left in that Super Bowl: Dave Matthews, Tebow, and Grady Jarrett.
Right.
They still left.
And
I don't know about Grady though. I'm still convinced with Grady. I'm just being honest. I ain't really convinced with Grady.
I'm not convinced either. I'm not convinced either. Again, this might be a little bit more turnover than we had before. And while you sitting right here, I'm gonna just run through this real quick because again, today is gonna be a day that I know there are many people celebrating, but I'm gonna give Matt his flowers today. And without a doubt, listen to me. Over his career from 2008 to 2021, aside of the fact that the man missed he missed 3 games in his career. 3 games in his career. What? 3? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Two games in 09 and 1 game in 19. So let me throw some numbers at you. And again, I'm not trying to go numbers mean everything, but let's keep it real. Matt won 120 games. He lost 102. Matt had a 65% rate. That's 2 out of every 3 passes. 59,000 yards cannot be sneezed at. I know it's a different era where we throw the ball up a million times, but that's still pretty good. As much as he declined those last few years with the touchdowns to interception ratio, in a career, he had 367 to 170. If my math is correct, that's more than 2 to 1 as far as interceptions concerned. So at the end of the day, while it is time to push. I see a lot of people saying push the reset button, which is true. There's nothing I disagree. I don't disagree with the premise of this move. So I'm not overall, but just speak real quick, Rick, on as a whole for this franchise, what Matt Ryan was, because I know you can do that without bias. I know you can do that.
Here's what I'll say. Let me say this. He was the face of the franchise because he came in at a dark period. Because first of all, when he came in, we didn't have what hope did we have at quarterback?
None.
I remember Matt Ryan's first play in the NFL was a 65-yard touchdown.
Michael Jenkins.
First play.
Michael Jenkins. Yep.
Number 1. So I'll say this. Let me say this, and I'm gonna let you go because I know other folks trying to get on.
That's all good.
It's a new era. Yes, everybody glad folks to celebrate. I'll say this. If we wasn't in the kind of cattail situation that we've been in for the past few years, and if we were able to invest in an O-line that really could keep Matt Ryan upright,
right,
and to the point where the players could develop, if he didn't go through all of the different offensive coordinators that he went through, the different head coaches that he went through, let's just say, if he had the proper line around him, we saw that line in 2016. I think that the narrative will be different about Matt Ryan.
I think
we want him to lead, but at the same time, he wasn't bad when he was here. He was just a victim of circumstance. Even though it was partly his contract that kept us, in that particular position. But I think if Matt Ryan had a different O-line, we wouldn't be having this would be a little bit more Saturday than it is today. This is my
and that is good. Ironically, as I'm talking to you in the NFL Network, they're having Kenny Pickett's Pro Day as we talk. I'm not saying he's the name, but it's just like the Falcons will be paying a lot more attention to that coming on. Brother Rick, we're going to holler at you later on. I'll be on at 6. I expect you to be on so we can continue the conversation then, brother.
I'll see you then.
All right. Appreciate you, brother. I have a tendency, and I apologize. I love reading people's stuff, so I'm going to take a sabbatical for a second on the phones because I love hearing those same folks who always talk to me all the time. I want to make sure that I'm acknowledging what they're saying on here. And people like Demetrio, what's going on? Micho says, I hear they are going after Mariota, which I don't feel is an upgrade. I'm sure we'll take a quarterback in the draft. What do you think would be the best to draft at quarterback position this year? Well, this is the thing. You're not upgrading at the moment. 2022 was not going to be an upgrade year. Remember, even if Deshaun Watson would have been on the team, he was going to miss a significant amount of time before he was able to sit in anyway. 2022 was never the year. So, yes, are there going to be some growing pains probably this year? More than likely. Can Mariota at least hold it together until we get something new? Possibly. But I think you really do have to go for quarterback. And for those of you talking about wait till the 2023 year when we have all these great quarterbacks and stuff like that, I'm trying to tell y'all, there is no guarantee with anything, man. You go out and you see these quarterbacks here and you try to see who is the best person that will fit in your system at the moment, and you try to go and get them. So, All-Star said the trade of Matt finally puts the Super Bowl to bed for me. It probably won't for Atlanta, but I understand what you're saying. At least the memory will be gone. Carla Boone says, we can't do that, dude. We can't do that, dude said on the interview. We can. We did it, and it was absolutely necessary. Thanks, Matt, for the memories, your awesome community service, and good luck in the future. We must move on and bring new life to our franchise. You get what you're worth. Watson got an unprecedented $200 million, and we got a third rounder. Let's keep this thing in perspective. He's not worth more, and our franchise finally knew it. Finally, and it was going to take, Carla. It was going to take the new folks coming in to initiate this. I'm surprised they probably didn't try to do that last year. Maybe they did, but we'll see. Michael, what's going on? Michael said, chosen by God. We drafted a quarterback. In the draft. Jermaine says, Matt Ryan was our best quarterback. I don't think there's any argument about that, Jermaine. Matt Ryan was the best quarterback in Atlanta franchise history. I don't think there is a debate on that at all. Most exciting? No. And really, when you talk about most talented, I probably don't even say that either. But as far as the best quarterback in our franchise history, absolutely. PJ, what's going on, brother? Say the official reset starts today. Rise up. I know you're interested to see what goes on in here. Twan says, I talk a lot, but I think but I'll miss Ryan. I thank him for everything, and it would be crazy not seeing him in a Falcons uniform. And for those, you're going to have the cynics. You're going to have the people, thank God I'm going to throw my Met jersey away and the stench is out the room and blah, blah. You're going to get all of that. But later on today, it is going to be pretty much more of some memories of Matt. And listen, we can talk all the junk we want to. How good did it feel in 2008 through 2012 to be relevant? How great did it feel to go to that Super Bowl in 16 and bounce right back after 17? Remember, there were a few years where people who were losing in the Super Bowl wouldn't even make the playoffs the next year. How good was that? And at the helm of all of those teams was Matt Ryan. Did he have a rough ending? Absolutely, he did. But I don't want to 100% completely bury the fact that he was absolutely nothing. He just had an extremely rough ending to his journey, and that's my biggest thing. So, let me pull this down a little bit there. Corey Hurd, what's going on? Talking to us on Uncle Steve's Lounge on YouTube, said Matt Ryan made the correct choice picking the Colts. Matt thrives with a decent O-line and a good running game because it sets up what he does best, set up the play action passes. Let me explain something to you. What Matt Ryan just did, he has a real opportunity to make some noise. Think about it now. He's in the AFC South now. You do have Tennessee's defense to contend with, and you still have Jacksonville and you have Houston. Wins will be there in the AFC. Now, the problem is in the AFC, you're going to have a lot more competition. I strongly think the AFC right now is the more competitive conference. I'm not saying Indy can't go past Buffalo, Kansas City, any of the teams in the AFC West. It's going to be some tough sledding. but he has a better chance. Jonathan Taylor, healthy running back, a nice offensive line. I mean, this is awesome for him if he can. Lisa says Fontenot needs to address the fan base. Well, they'll have time to do that. Of course, he's going to address the fan base. I don't think if you're expecting him to talk a lot about Deshaun Watson, I don't think you're going to get that. I think what you're going to get from Fontenot, what you're going to get from the Atlanta Falcons in the next 8 to 10 hours, you're going to get that obligatory video on the website where we thank Matt for everything he's done. I think you're going to have the press conference. It may not be as soon as you think. You'll get a statement, I'm pretty sure, pretty soon. It'll be a lengthy statement, and they'll talk about all the great things that Matt Ryan has done in the past. Let's see. Trying to go down here. Dave says the next quarterback is going to catch hell. Don't kid yourselves. Fans are not letting this go easy, and be honest, I don't blame them. See, but the thing is, Dave, that's the problem. I think sometimes when you hang on to somebody so long, we don't know any other way. This past generation, this past football generation, you don't know any better. You don't know another way because we've been used to Matt at the helm. Yes, we've had running back switch, we've had wide receiver switch, but the face of the franchise has been the same. This feels totally like a reset now. Now we're talking about, you can't deny that this is a rebuild. Are we going to try to win games? Yeah. You brought in some players. As a matter of fact, I love the signing of Lorenzo Carter coming in here on a 1-year deal. I think that's a good little deal, and you're not holding on to him forever in case he doesn't produce. I love that. I like Damian Williams coming in the backfield. He does a lot of the same things Cordero does. So when you start talking about little bit of things, it's trying to improve your team, but just kind of waving the white flag on this season. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Monica said, "Damn, I need to call in." Hold on. We're actually, don't fret, because I'm pretty sure on the line, I'm pretty sure Tidy is going to come on. I'm pretty sure Marcus is coming. I'm coming back at 6 o'clock. I'm going to go through about another 10, 15 minutes, but I will be back at 6. So at 6 o'clock, once we kind of get settled and stuff like that, trust me, we're going to have that. And what I'd like to do today, for some of you that are online today, I'd like to bring some of y'all on and talk to us on the screen if you get a chance to. If you have a phone and you can come in, I'll even do StreamYard, even though StreamYard was giving me problems. If you want to come in, just shoot me a note in the notes and say that you want to talk this evening, and I can send the link to you. You don't need to do anything. It's a link in there, and then you push the link. It'll allow your camera to come through, and you can talk to us. If you were listening yesterday, we were talking to Antoine Smitty Smith of Smitty Sports Machine, who I'm sure is all over this too. So if you all want to get into that this evening, we will. Obviously, big news today. We're going to be covering it all day in Atlanta Bird game. Just, Dave says, I prefer for it not to be Malik Willis for the young man's sake. But here's the problem. Here's the thing, Dave. Atlanta's going to get a veteran quarterback. You're going to get Fitzpatrick, Jameis, Mariota. Somebody's coming in here. Somebody's coming in to this team this year. I don't know who, but they're going to come either on a 1-year contract or a 2-year contract and going to come into this organization. They're not going to just leave Malik, Pickett, Corral, whoever they choose. They're not going to leave them just hanging to the wind. You're going to bring a veteran quarterback in here and probably groom your next quarterback. For those of you who start thinking about 2023, again, you just never know. We thought we were going to suck last year, and we ended, well, it's not like we did suck, but 7 wins was probably a little hefty for the roster that we had this year. I would honestly say, aside of being young, we made some nice little spot moves in there. Re-signing Isaiah Oliver to hopefully go back to his slot position. Getting my man Chaney from not Chaney, Hayward to come in there and get on the other side of AJ. So we're making moves to improve, but in the interim, you still have to think. You can't bring folks in there like that and expect them to try to lose. And the NFC South is still not going to be that great aside of Tampa. So you might slip up and win 3-4 games in the NFC South. So for us to sit here and act like, just blow up the season and play for 2023 when there's no guarantee Bryce Young is going to be that great. Do y'all remember rewinding the clock back 2017? Tua throws a pass to beat Georgia, and every single publication, every single sports show, Tua is going to be a beast. Tua is going to be the man. Tua is going to be this. And now they're trying to get rid of Tua before they even get to the end of his 4 years. So there's no guarantee that just because you're waiting until the best crop of folks come out, says who? So you make your move when you have the opportunity to make your move. We may not get to this position again where we have somebody. Now, thank God we didn't trade those first round picks now for Deshaun, but that was a different story. Now we have that opportunity. Who knows what you can do? But all this wait till 2023, forget that. Forget that. What's going on, James? How you doing? Rise up from Kentucky. Sorry about them Wildcats, brother. Let's see. He say, I don't drink. He said, I don't drink, but I'm going to have to have one. Ding dong, the witch is dead. Wow. Oh, man. Trying to come down here. I'm sorry, y'all. O-line sucked. Let's see. O-line sucked, but he only missed 3 games in his career. Think about that, Ryan Ites. That's Mike. Twan says, me too. I'm definitely going to miss Matt. I'm putting everything to the side. He is Atlanta Falcons' best quarterback, but it was time. Watch how different we are. Watch how different we look with the next quarterback. And again, all of a sudden, the one thing that I can guarantee that you're going to see now at the Atlanta quarterback position, you're going to see a lot of athleticism. Well, I say a lot. You're going to see more than you've seen in the last 6-7 years. Now you're going to get it. Now you're going to get it. Seriously. Billy Ray, what's going on, Billy Ray? Billy Ray says, I don't think Terry is done. Debo and Grady can go as well. Take first picks and draft Dean from Georgia. Take one of those seconds and get Ritter from Cincinnati. And you're right. Who knows? This may not be it. This absolutely may not be it. Corey Hurd on Uncle C's Lounge on YouTube. Matt Ryan stabilized the quarterback position for our franchise for a decade. One word to name Matt Ryan with the Falcons. Plug and play since day one. Dude, Matt Ryan is, if anything, durable, bro. Matt Ryan's durability is to be praised. I don't care who you are, whether you're Brady, Aaron Rodgers, whatever. From that standpoint, from a durability standpoint, he's up there with the best. The hits, we just talked about it with Andre a few minutes ago. The hits that Matt Ryan has taken over his career with this team, some of the stuff that he got up. I remember the game we played against Detroit where they knocked him on his behind and they were taking him off the field, and it looked like he was done for the season. And he jogs back on the field, and the very first play he hits Julio down the middle for about 30, 40 yards. I can't remember what year that was, but that just shows you he gets up, man. They got to give Matt Ryan some credit from that standpoint. But that was then. Coming off the last 4 years, it has not been fair. I agree with some of y'all. It hasn't been fair that Matt has been riddled with some of these players that we have on this team. Some of these players disguised as offensive linemen. Some of these players disguised as defensive edge rushers. It has not been fair. That being said, Matt has had to take some of the blame on that too. Again, being a quarterback of a team, it's you take the good with the bad, man. But you're the face. You're the face. You say, I wonder what happens to our salary cap. Now, by the time we come back, I'll have a lot more to put on here. Now, I don't know also if I don't think we're able to designate this as a June 1st cap hit. So while we save immediate cap, that $40 million hit now, the one that we kept screaming about last year, now it takes effect. Now we are really going these players that we're getting in now, and then probably the draft class. That's probably going to be all we're going to get here pretty soon. You're going to probably save enough room to get a quarterback and maybe a couple of other pieces, but everybody else, I'm pretty sure it's going to be, it's going to be ready for us, I guess. So what's good? That's Chris. What's going on, Christian? Good to see you, brother. Mike says the GM and the quarterback coach are at Pickett's pro day. They're probably going to be at all four of the pro days. Because I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think he's today. I'm almost positive I heard Willis is tomorrow. Corral is Wednesday. And Desmond Ridder is Thursday. If I remember hearing that correct. I know Willis is tomorrow. Jermaine says go for Kaepernick. Here's my thing about Kaepernick, and I'm being real. I see the athleticism in Kaepernick. I don't know if Kaepernick, almost to the certain extent, that while Kaepernick has done nothing illegal and Kaepernick has done nothing that is suspendable or nothing like that, I think when you start talking about a team that's already kind of trying to find this way, the quote unquote rebuild and stuff like that, I'm not sure if Kaepernick is the distraction that you want for this team. For another team that's veteran built, and matter of fact, I say veteran built, don't even have to be a big time player. It doesn't have to be Kansas City, Buffalo, or whatever, but a team with a lot of veterans and a lot of folks like that, Kaepernick might fit on that. But for this particular team, I'm not exactly sure that would be the best move, because you'll have so much attention on what Kaepernick does here, what he does there. I mean, you think the scrutiny is bad.